Hi there. In this video, we're going to be looking at the keep errors and remove errors transformations in Power Query. So to start off with, we're in simple toolbar transformations.xlsx. We're in the keep remove errors sheet, and here's our data. So we're going to click somewhere in the table and go to the Power Query tab and click load data from table. Okay, so we've got all of our different products, and we've got our total sales this year and our total sales last year and our growth. And we've got several errors. So we've got errors where the total sales last year was 0, and so the growth doesn't really make sense because you can't grow from 0. Or you can't do a calculation because it ends up being a divide by 0. So in this instance, I think what we want to do on first glance, sort of a naive approach, is to just remove the rows that have errors. So to do that, we're going to right-click on here, and we're going to, remove the error rows. Okay, and so now what we've done is we've taken this table, and every row that had an error in the growth column, we've just gotten rid of. And there's actually a lot of use cases where that's the appropriate thing to do. Let's say you've got you sent out, a survey to 1,000 people, and 50 of the respondents responded in such a way that it generated an error. Well, you might say to yourself, we've already got 1,000 of these things. If we just remove 50, it really isn't going to affect our analysis of these responses. So we're just going to go ahead and throw those rows away, and that could be perfectly appropriate. Other times, it might not be appropriate. And one thing you often want to do before you throw away the rows, before you have this process in here, is you want to go ahead and take a look at the errors. So let's remove this step. And now, rather than removing the rows with errors in them, we're just going to keep just the rows that have errors in them. So we're going to right-click on here, and rather than remove errors, or I guess we have to go up here. So we're going to go to remove errors. We're just going to keep the errors. And what this is going to do is rather than just keeping the rows without errors, this is going to keep the rows that just do have errors. And this is kind of nice because what this is going to let us do is look at all the different errors and make sure that they're the kind of errors that we think they are. So these first three, these are the kind of errors we were assuming that was in our data, where total sales this year, we've got a number for that, but there was no sales last year, so there's no growth. But down here, it looks like we had total sales for last year, but for some reason, total sales for this year, it looks like somebody went in and by hand changed the sales this year from an actual numeric value to this text string of 40,000 and then in parentheses estimate. So that's why we've got an error there. And so at this point, we could head back to the source data and maybe change it there, or we could decide, you know what, this is another example of something we want to just remove from our table and do it that way. So let's say that we've decided that we actually just we're okay with throwing away all of these rows. So we're going to remove that step. And again, we're going to go up here and we're going to remove errors. Okay, it's as easy as that. I hope that was helpful. I will see you next video.